Alright, so we're back with another clinic online video. Application workshop will be posted same time as this one. That's all I have to say about that one. That one was fun to film. Just remember that every application is a little bit different, but the tips that I put include in the end are really good to just kind of keep in mind when you're filling out any application, whether it be a job application, royalty application, college application, you name it. Keep it in mind. Okay, so we are going to start combining some of the sections within the study guide. I love doing these videos, but I can only make so many, and I feel like I wouldn't want to sit there and watch 3 videos, or not 3, but like 16 videos while I'm sitting at home and having to do school as well. So we're going to start making these videos together. They might be a little bit longer. I'll try not to go that long, but we're going to try. So this is going to be hair and makeup, which is actually the next section. And then we'll go on to the next page, writing for the brand. Okay, hair and makeup. I don't have my hair done. Obviously, I have my makeup done. But I will go over a couple of things to do for hair and what I do and makeup, and we'll just go over all of it because these are some of my favorite things, and Rodeo Queen curls are some of my favorite things to do. All right. So, like typical, you can read the first paragraph on that page if you're following along in the study guide. If not, here's just a couple things that I've picked out from it. Hair and makeup is something to get somebody's attention, but it's not necessary. We'll go over this, but I do think your hair needs to be somewhat acceptable, and I think your makeup needs to look age appropriate, but I don't think you need it. I think if you want to go barefaced, go barefaced. That's up to you. So, some things I want to touch upon before we go through the page. Your pageant hair and makeup should be the same as the rest of the year. So if you come to the pageant with nice curly hair, like really good wings, we'll go over wings in a second if you don't know what those are. Your full face of makeup, your nails are done. This is what your coordinator, who has never met you before and whose first impression of you is either at the clinic or at the pageant, obviously. Clinics don't really matter because they're there for you to learn, but at the pageant's important. If you come in that full getup, me as the coordinator, I'm gonna expect you to show up every day of the job looking like that. So keep that in mind when you are getting ready for your pageant and putting together like what you're going to do for makeup and what you're going to do for hair, because if I see a girl come to the pageant, her hair is curled, she has a full face of makeup on, I'm going to expect that for the rest of the year because that's the image that the judges chose, and that's the image that I want her to represent throughout the year. So that being said, if you curl your hair for the pageant, you should plan on curling your hair every single day or every single appearance. Now, there were some days where I went to appearance straight out of school. One of those days was a Miss Rodeo Colorado clinic. I got out of school and my mom and I hauled to Greeley from Aurora, Colorado. That is an 1.5-hour drive for those of you who've never driven to Greeley. I did not have time to do my hair, and I was not going to do my hair for school because it was going to fall by the end of the day. But by the time I got to this clinic and had to go look nice. So I did a braid for that, and that is totally acceptable. Sorry I'm talking with my hands. I have a lot of energy today. Personally, I think that if you do not have time to do your hair, put it in a braid, put it in a side braid. Or if you're on like day 3, 4 of a rodeo and you do not have access to hopefully you have access to a shower, but if you don't have that opportunity to wash your hair and you're on day 3 of a rodeo and you just don't really want to do your hair, a side braid is perfectly fine, but try and aim for those curls. If you show up to the pageant with straight hair, again, expect to go throughout your year with straight hair. Okay, Next point I want to touch upon before we actually get to the page, age appropriate. Please make sure your makeup is age appropriate. There is no need for 10-year-olds, or our youngest is 12, 12 through 20, 12 through 15 is our princess age. There is no need for a 12-year-old to be doing makeup that Miss Rodeo Colorado does. I think that Miss Rodeo Colorado's makeup is beautiful, and I think that Haley, our current Miss Rodeo Colorado, does her makeup it's amazing. But I don't think a 12-year-old needs to put that much makeup on. So do age appropriate makeup. If you are on the younger side, maybe stick towards mascara and maybe a little bit of foundation, but not that much. You want to save your skin. Trust me. If you're on the older side and trying out for Miss Rodeo Colorado, go for it. Put on that makeup. Or don't if makeup's not your thing. Whatever. But make sure it is age appropriate. Okay, talking about makeup, first section we're going to talk about is makeup. So I started off as a rodeo queen not wearing a lot of makeup. I didn't actually wear a lot of makeup until probably 8th grade, and that's when I got mascara, and that was the only makeup I wore. And in high school is when I first really started wearing foundation and all that stuff. And so I really experimented with it in high school, and I've kind of found what really works for me, but I change it up every now and again. So experiment. Don't have the first time you're ever doing your full face of makeup be the day of the pageant. That's kind of gonna be a disaster. So I love seeing young little baby queens or little baby junior princesses, or even the princesses. I love seeing them rock a natural look because, again, you're young, you don't need that. You still have, everybody has natural beauty, but you don't have the acne you need to cover up. And trust me, I understand needing to cover up acne. I have fought with acne all of my life. But if you don't need it, don't use it. Try and save your face for as long as you can. Again, I think it's best to experiment and find what you love best. I have found my personal routine that I love best. I found products that I love. I found, a way that works for me and that's quick and easy, but find what you love best. I think another thing that's important to remember, and something that I really touch upon when I talk about makeup, is the brand of makeup that you're using. Obviously, you want to, be cost effective with your makeup because you're going to go through a lot of it. Like, I go through a lot of makeup, and I'm not even queening, I'm just a coordinator. But when I was queening, I went through a lot of makeup. So obviously I wanted to find something cost effective. You also want to find something that's good for your skin. You don't want to be putting crap on your face. You don't want to be putting stuff that is going to clog your pores. I mean, obviously it's going to clog your pores because it's makeup, but you want to find something that's not going to just be damaging to your skin. I think obviously you want something that's good for your skin. Down below the makeup section, there's a box, and it's do test and don't test. So if you're familiar with rodeo, which I hope all of you are, and we'll talk about studying and brands and stuff in a bit, we know that PETA is always after us, and we're always under fire from PETA. And we don't need to worry because we take care of our animals well, and I think that it's a touchy subject, but I also believe that if we are going to be advocates for people who treat animals well, and advocates for I struggle with words here, advocates for not animal abuse, and we're gonna preach that rodeo, we love our animals, I personally believe we need to pick brands of makeup that also don't test on animals. So I have provided you a list of brands that do test on animals and don't test on animals. This may have changed. This list is kind of old, but I use e.l.f. and e.l.f. is on the don't test list. So I use e.l.f. because it's cheap. Target, it's I think a bottle of foundation is $4 at Target. They don't test on animals, and they are really good quality. Now, that's just because I was in high school and I needed something cheap. Obviously now I'm gonna start bumping up like what I use, but e.l.f. is a really good brand to start out with. And you can like look at all these brands and you can see what do and don't test. It's really up to you, but I think if we're going to fight against PETA, we need to like uphold some of our standards. Hair is next. Hair is one of my favorite things. I love doing hair. I love my hair. I love Rodeo Queen hair. I love the versatility you can have with it. So, if you've ever seen a Rodeo Queen and you look at them from the back, what do you see? You see perfect waterfall curls. What do you see when you see Miss Rodeo America? You see perfect waterfall curls. What do you see when you see Haley Fredrickson currently? You see her beautiful blonde hair, okay? Curls are in and curls will, sorry, my hamster's making noises. Curls are in and curls will always be in, I think. It's a classic look, it's elegant, it's put together. So if you look at old Rodeo Queen pictures, the perm, curly hair, tight curls used to be in with big fluffy hair, but now it's more of a waterfall, gentle curl. It's really easy to obtain. Again, you kind of have to like experiment and do a couple test days with it. I use a flat iron, and if I had my flat iron, I would show you, but I take a piece of hair and I'll just show you, and I clamp it with a flat iron, but then I flip it over my flat iron and I go down with it and it curls. I do want to say, remember to curl away from your face. You don't want curls coming into your face. That closes your face off. So curl away from your face, and it'll also help with developing your wings. When you start developing your wings, you'll start to create a natural wing. I had a natural wing, and then I let my hair kind of relax and I'm letting it grow out a little bit. But hairspray will become your best friend. You will have stock in hairspray. I will say that Aquanet, it is a old hairspray. It is like 90s, maybe 80s. I don't know. It's old, but your hair will stay all day. It'll be rock solid, but it'll stay all day long. Or, you know, if you're the type of person, like my hair holds curl pretty well. I can probably go 2 days of curl and it still look pretty decent. Maybe a little touch-ups here and there. We talked about side braid. We talked about ponytail. You can read the paragraphs. I'm not going to sit here and read to you. That would be boring. Wings. Rodeo Queen wings. It is so important that you create wings, and wings like will come out here and like sit, because first of all, when your hat is on, it frames your hat. It'll make your hair frame your hat, and it also shows off the beautiful earrings you're sporting, whether they're Montana Silversmith or they're Claire's. They're beautiful, okay? You want people to see your earrings, and you want people to see your entire outfit. Miss Rodeo America, Jordan Tierney, just posted a fantastic video on how to do your wings. So go over to her Facebook page or go over to the Miss Rodeo America Facebook page and you can find it there, or Instagram. She just posted how she does her wings, and I think her wings are awesome. So that's a good video. You can literally also look up Rodeo Queen hair, and there's a bunch of videos on how to do it. All right, so if you turn the page in your study guide, or if you move on to the next page, we're gonna cover writing for the brand really quick, because I think that this is really important. Because if you look at the picture that's included, it's the Code of the West. Real old rodeo cowboy stuff. But if you think about being a rodeo queen, you get sponsors. And you get people who are willing to back you through your year, and that's one thing that every rodeo queen does. Haley Fredrickson had to go get her sponsors, and she still is working on getting her sponsors. But if you've ever seen the Miss Rodeo Colorado truck, it is full of her sponsors' brands. Each sponsor you're going to get has a brand, and you need to represent the brand that they have, because you are the ambassador for now, not only your program, but for their brand, because they are putting their money into you. So, for example, if Wrangler sponsors you, It is important that you wear Wrangler jeans and shirts. Cinch sponsors CPRA. It might be beneficial to wear cinch stuff at a CPRA rodeo. I also think that riding for the brand means something different. Riding for the brand could mean the brand you want to create. And I talk about this a lot with my girls. Who do you want to represent? Having a rodeo queen title is your platform. You know, every president comes in with ideas that he wants for the country and, you know, a brand that he wants America to be. Think about, I mean, not to the level of the president, but think about who and what you want your brand to be. My brand, when I was queen for this program, and still to this day, is kids. I think youth development is super important, and so that was my brand. So you'll know who your sponsors are, or you'll see down on your little sheet, there's 2 blanks again. Know who your sponsors are. Our webpage lists all of our sponsors. If you ever have a question about ARRA sponsors, ask. You need to know those. You will get questioned on them. Just know your program sponsors. Then the next one is, sorry, my card ran out of space for that last video. So what brand do you want to represent? I want you to write it down. You know, write it, if you're following along in the study guide, write it down. If you're not, write it down on a note card, write it down on a sticky note, put it on your wall. Even if you are writing down in your study guide, put it on your wall. What do you want to represent? Who do you want to be? So I'm gonna just, if you're following along in your study guide, this is gonna look really familiar, but I'm gonna read what's written down in the study guide for those of you who aren't. You represent the Western way of life. Remember that. You are the direct contact between the rodeo world and the outside world. You need to remember who you are representing and what you are representing. Rodeo queening can be used as an outlet to pitch a platform, but it is again important to remember what you are representing. Remember, you are the link between the people who don't rodeo and the rodeo world. You are the spokesperson for the cowboys that don't get to go interact with the fans because they're working. Okay? Remember that. I think that's all I have to say for Riding for the Brand. If you have any questions, again, email me, message the Facebook page. At the bottom of the worksheet, or of that page, I have listed some clothing and style resources. This is to go back with appearance in clothing like we were talking about. I didn't really have extra space on those pages, so I include it in these pages. I always keep up with fashion, and I'm no longer a rodeo queen, but I suggest you all keep up with fashion. Follow the Miss Rodeo America page, follow the Miss Rodeo Colorado page, follow Fashion Posse, follow Western Runway, follow those pages that address rodeo fashion. There's also groups that you can get on Facebook that are always selling clothes. I know Taylor McNair, Miss Rodeo America last year, is actually trying to get rid of a lot of her closet right now. And so she's selling a lot of her clothes. So make sure you get on those groups. They're really easy to get on. And, okay, to wrap this video up, our application is open. It is accepting responses. The link is on the Facebook page, and the workshop is going to be posted tonight along with this video. Our next video is going to be, let me look ahead, get educated and stay educated. So we're going to talk about what you need to know to be a rodeo queen. There will be an activity for that one. And then there is going to be a video that I'm going to post. It's How to Rock a Rodeo Queen Crown by Sarah J. Bodenkamp, and she's an amazing, amazing person. And I will post that video in the description of the next video so that you can watch it and you can take notes on the video. But that will be the 2 next items of the next video. Thank you guys for continuing to keep up. I'm hoping that these videos will be a little bit longer, but there won't be as many. Thanks!